Syrian Arab Army units engaged a terrorist group and killed its members while they tried to cross from Turkey. Russian naval forces continue military exercises in the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. Israeli forces of occupation threaten to evacuate Beit al-Karami refugee camp to demolish it. Good afternoon. Following the cutoff of the electric power supplies in the southern area of Syria as a result of a terrorist attack on a main line of power, the Minister of Electricity, Mr. Ahmad Khamis, stated that workshops continue their work to restore electric power supplies. The power began to come back gradually since this morning. Work continues to bring back the electric current to various areas within the coming few hours. Syrian Arab Army forces continued to storm the hideouts of terrorists in addition to chasing those who escaped. A military unit foiled an attempt of terrorist infiltration into Syria from Turkish territories across the village of Nab al-Mur in the Latakia countryside. Several of them, who belonged to the so-called Mujahideen Brigade, were killed. Syrian troops also destroyed 4 vehicles carrying heavy machine guns that were used by the gunmen. A military source said that the Syrian Arab Army units confronted yesterday a terrorist group that attempted to attack a military checkpoint in Tel al-Sakhr in Al-Qasir in Homs countryside. The source added that the terrorist group members were killed or injured and their weapons were destroyed during the operation. The Russian Committee of Solidarity with Syria asserted that terrorists recruited children and forced them to carry weapons and to join attacks on the Syrian Arab Army. The committee said that the terrorists also used the children to torture and murder the kidnapped victims who fall in the hands of the terrorists. Such acts violate the international law and that forbid the recruitment of any children less than 15 years of age. The committee stressed that the whole world should know the savage practices of this false so-called revolution in Syria. The Russian maritime forces continued their military exercises, which began 2 days ago in the Black Sea and the Mediterranean seas. The Russian Foreign Ministry said that 20 vessels and supply ships are taking part in the largest maneuvers during the recent years. The aim is to ensure the readiness of naval forces to carry out tasks assigned to them in areas remote from Russia. In the shadow of Arab and Islamic silence and international coalition, the Zionist forces of occupation continue their plot to control more Palestinian territories. They threaten to displace Palestinians and to evacuate the camp of Beit al-Karami, the House of Dignity. The Palestinians established this camp last Friday as a response to the Israeli announcement considering the area a military zone after confiscating 50 hectares of Palestinian territories. The Palestinian citizens insisted on defending their homes and lands, so the Zionist forces of occupation gave them notifications that it intended to evacuate this camp for the 4th time. The terrorist organization Al-Qaeda in Iraq admitted responsibility for the murder of the Iraqi representative Ifan al-Isawi and a wave of bloody attacks last week that left 88 people dead. Another person was killed in a similar terrorist attack to the west of Al-Mosul. The terrorist also murdered an official in the Ministry of Electricity in his car to the west of Baghdad. In the province of Nineveh, an explosive device was detonated when an Iraqi army patrol passed over it, wounding 1 soldier. On the other hand, a security source announced the detention of 10 wanted terrorists in Nineveh. A storehouse full of explosives was also discovered to the east of Mosul. In Egypt, clashes were renewed in the city of Alexandria between security forces and hundreds of protesters who gathered in front of the courthouse, where 6 senior officers were on trial for killing demonstrators a year ago. Protesters chanted slogans against the judiciary system, calling for reform. Security forces tried to keep the protesters away from the courthouse. In a new attempt by the Bahraini authorities to curb the people's protest, the prosecution ordered the arrest of 15 people, including a woman, to be held for 1 month in custody for their participation in a protest rally called the Friday of Dignity, demanding the release of activists who were arrested during a rally last month. In Yemen, more than 10 terrorists from Al-Qaeda were killed when an explosive device blew up in a house that belongs to a terrorist in the directorate of Al-Manasya, south of Sana'a. Yemeni sources said that the house, which was used for preparing improvised explosive devices, was completely destroyed in the blast. The explosion killed many of Al-Qaeda leaders, including foreign nationals who were inside the house when the explosion took place. Venezuelan Vice President Nicolas Maduro said that President Hugo Chavez is regaining strength and will start a new stage of treatment. Maduro said that the health situation of Chavez is improving after he suffered an inflammation of a respiratory following a successful surgery he underwent as part of cancer treatment in Cuba. Maduro pointed out that President Chavez is fully conscious and is stabilizing as the functioning of his organs and his vital signs are improving. That was our news for today. For more details, you can visit our website www.syriaonline.sy. After the break, a new line for producing bread and ambitious water management projects in Syria. All that and some more with Nariman. Stay with us.